G'day and welcome to Aussievision. We've just had the results of Festivalia Kungas 62. We have a Eurovision winner. We have a FiK winner, Liv. Let's talk about the Eurovision winner first. It's Besa Kokadima. A bit of a shock. What did you think of her winning?
I kind of get it in retrospect. Also, this is the Bessa that had like the boob suit thing on, not the Beza that had the backing dancers. So, because there were
Yes.
two Bezzas in the competition.
Yes.
So, this is the one with the iconic outfits, basically. I will say she did have the closest to a sort of Eurovision-y kind of concept going on. And in retrospect, she's really popular. She's got a lot of young fans. I can kind of imagine that maybe they all rallied behind her for the televote. So retrospect, not so surprising. At the time, I was a bit W2F.
Yeah, I really thought I thought she was in the running. Definitely was in the running. As you said, she's well established there. She was getting a lot of views, but not the most views for the videos coming through. And it did feel like it felt more quite uh, kind of modernish. Like Darko Dimitrov is in one of the producers of the songs, who's done a lot of Eurovision stuff before. So I wasn't shocked by it, but I was surprised because I just thought some of the other acts were probably going to jump up and ahead of it. But I agree. I think it's probably the most Eurovision ready package to go. And it reminded me a little bit, not the song, but the result when Karma won the year that we thought Innocent won. And I kept thinking, oh, this will stand out at Eurovision. Maybe it doesn't stand out amongst 30 Albanian songs for us, but on its own, I think it can stand up on a Eurovision stage.
Absolutely. I think it's got its own point of interest. And then that's another really strong female vocalist coming out of Albania. All I can say is I hope they keep it in Albanian. They always do better when they keep it. And I just hope they do.
Exactly. Well, look, I think I'm really happy with it. Probably the third choice I thought of winning today. Let's talk about some of the other ones who didn't win. I think we pretty much all were expecting Elsa Lila to probably do a double win of the festival and get the Eurovision ticket. And she got neither. She didn't even make the top three of FiK, but she didn't get the Eurovision ticket. What do you think of that result?
I'm actually flawed because in every year we've watched FiK, right, it's the juries as the Achilles heel of these pop girlies making it to Eurovision half the time. And they usually do go for the more traditional songs. And she just had like FiK winner all over it, both televote and jury. So the fact that she didn't even place in either is like absolutely insane to me. I actually thought maybe there was a scoring error and we're going to get like a Miss Universe moment where it's like rip the crown off and like give it to her. I was waiting for it because they're kind of standing up there for a little while. But I don't know what went wrong, honestly.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I don't think the song had. I mean, I think it was the first night hearing her or whatever night she performed. I was like, okay, it's not as good as last year. I didn't have the feels as much. I thought she smashed today's performance, and she's such a huge name, and she's getting like the most views of everything. And I just thought she was this quality, kind of above everybody else. And I just thought the Albanian public are going to vote for her, and they can make that 4 minute package work for Eurovision in some way. She's fantastic, but yeah, I was shocked that she didn't win.
Yeah, I was totally mesmerized by that performance. She has such a unique vocal. She just screams so professional, so much class. Like it really did feel like a cut above the rest. But no, we read the room wrong on that one.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? She might have come like they didn't reveal who came second and third in the public vote, so she might have been just behind. I'd say she would have been close. Another one of our favorites was I'm not sure how to say his name exactly, Andwell. An amazing man, Balkan ballad, just done so well. He would have been in the running, but I kind of felt like he probably wouldn't get enough votes to win.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of very strong ballads this year. For me, he was the absolute best. None was his song, Nan. I was thinking my grandma, Nan. Anyway, the point is, I can totally understand why it didn't quite make it to the front of the field because despite the fact that he had an absolutely outstanding operatic vocal, which was actually very different to other things in the competition, um, it's kind of a type of song we've seen a lot of. It's a very typical Balkan ballad. There wasn't anything too special in the composition, I guess, to actually make it stand out in terms of a performance competition song.
Yeah, I kept thinking, oh, you know what? I do think there's space at Eurovision to throw back to a Balkan a ballad that we heard from what was his name from Serbia, who was amazing all those years. But I think it was missing that magic of the actual song itself. He is incredible, like just absolute chills. He's fantastic. Glad to see him make actually the final this year at least, but not rewarded, not even anything in the three places of FiK. But hopefully he comes back with something that can maybe give a bit more of a modern edge, because it did feel very old school, and I love a bit of that. But I think even for FiK, you need to get a little bit more modern, maybe to have a chance.
Totally agree.
And so the only other one probably worth talking about, who didn't even make the final, was Luan, with that electro experimental craziness that all fans loved, massive fan favorite out of everything else. I kind of felt they did him dirty, like not even getting. You could have voted for him in to get Eurovision, but by not performing in the final, it had no chance.
Absolutely not. Could you imagine that, actually representing your country at Eurovision and you didn't even make the final of your own competition? Like, bizarre. Anyway, classic FiK doing all sorts of wacky things, but we love it for that, you know. I will say I found it a little hard to connect with, despite the fact I thought it was definitely one of the best from the festival. It didn't have the immediate impact that something I would expect it to for this style. For me, it was actually a little bit too disjointed, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of actually think it probably would have flopped if it got to Eurovision just low key over here.
Yeah, I think it was one of those ones where I was watching with Mike from the team, obviously, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" He watched it, was like, "Is he going to do something else? Is this going to happen?" Yeah, you might be compelled to watch it, but you're actually going to vote. I don't know. I think it would have been Eurovision worthy, but I think it probably stood out a lot more because of who it was up against at FiK, where it kind of almost might be a bit of an also ran at like Serbia's national final. It reminded me of something we would see out of Serbia that wouldn't win there. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, but hey, it goes down as an iconic FiK performance. Now, talking about iconic and maybe in all the right and wrong ways, let's talk about the winner of the festival. Mao won the festival. For those who don't know Mao, it was the biceps guy, the shouty biceps guy. Exactly. No one, I thought there might even a sneaky televote win out of nowhere. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought he'd win the festival.
I just sat there for half a moment, like, did I hear that right? Like, I know I can't speak Albanian, but I recognize that name. And is this correct? Like, juries? Eurovision? I'm not sure. Anyway, he went absolutely bananas. He was so excited, obviously, as he should be. He's just gone and won like the biggest festival in his country. And I will just say, for all the reasons that I thought that Elsa would win were like all the reasons I thought he wouldn't. So the fact that this has just gone and reversed itself has shown that watching FiK since 2018 has actually taught me nothing, and I actually have no idea what they want in that country anymore, and I'm just more confused than ever.
To me, we've watched a lot of national finals live over the last since 2018, like, and even beyond, right? That is the most. He doesn't get to go to Eurovision, obviously. That's the most shocking result I've ever seen. Like nothing comes close. Like it's not. I'm not even like upset about it. Because we differ on this, because I actually quite like the song. I think it's a great song. You hate it, but it's not. It's not a FiK winner. Like, what do they want? They normally want these big vocals, these big traditional things, and then this is nothing. To me, he's trying to be Damiano from Måneskin and failing miserably at it. Like, that's what I feel like he's trying to do.
Totally bizarre from that massive lineup of choices that they had. It just felt completely left field of what they normally would go for. And you ended up with a winner from the festival and a winner of a televote. Neither of them kind of screamed what we've seen typically from the country, but that's okay because, countries that keep things fresh at Eurovision are countries that, do well as well. You don't want to do the same stuff all the time. Although I will say we have another female again. I think the last one was 2018 that we got a male. So they're on a streak there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look, I mean, I think as you were saying when he was called out, I was actually like, did I miss? Is there someone I've forgotten about? Because I was like, in my head was like, it can't be Mal, and then it was unbelievable, unbelievable. But look, FiK's gonna FiK, and it does keep us on our toes, and that's what we love about it. As you said, overall, what did you think about FiK this year compared to we've watched a lot of them over the years? How do you think the festival's going?
I would say I want more like hosts coming in on horses with like a little carriage. That was amazing. But I would say like I feel like the quality of the songs has just kind of gone down a little bit the last few editions, but also the side entertainment, periphery entertainment stuff was honestly not good at all this year. They just kept wheeling out the same comedian who clearly nobody wanted to listen to. 1 3-minute set for him on night 3 would have been plenty, but instead he just kept coming out. And it seemed at the very end of the final night, we kind of got this trio of new people talking for a bit. And I was like, okay, they actually sound interesting. I can't understand what they're saying, but like there's some vibes here that I'm like, okay, why didn't they host from the start? So I would say I would have enjoyed the festival a lot more if they could have actually gotten some more engaging guest artists and hosts.
Yeah, that comedian over and over again was a bit odd. And I know we get some odd stuff in FiK, but that's half the fun. But we get different stuff. So that's the key part. Overall, I do think the song quality is probably dropping a little bit. We had some really stellar years like 2018, 19, 20 area was fantastic. And it's weird that now we've got a chance for a public vote winner. I feel like we're getting less public type songs, which is really, it should be the opposite way around. So maybe it'll change over time. I think a few people were burnt and a few artists were burnt from some certain results, like Matana not winning and it's not getting top 3. So I think people have been put off a little bit and hopefully they come back because it was one of my favorite national finals. Not sure it is at the moment, but I still enjoyed the week.
Absolutely. Always bring something unique and I'll always be there for that.
Exactly. All right. Well, look, thanks, Liv, for putting up with FiK for the week. It's been an interesting few days and the most interesting results we've ever seen, I think.
Merry FiKmas, everybody.
Very FiKmas. See you later.